Lowell and Annette Anderson, this is your third cousins, and we're here in Springfield, Minnesota. And Lowell, when were you born?
August 31st, 33.
August what?
31st, 33.
August 1st at 33.
August
31st of 1933. And Annette?
September 7th, 1938.
5 years difference. Cradle robber.
Well,
Stole yourself a young one, didn't you?
I'm an Anderson.
That's right. And were you born, where were you born? Here, Springfield?
Yep. Springfield.
And
Echo, Minnesota.
in Minnesota?
Echo.
Where? Echo?
You see, he was born in 33.
Uh-huh.
That's why he's a depression baby.
Yep.
I got that, boy. That's what the depression was.
Okay. And were there any big happenings that you remember when you were born in 33?
Depression.
The Depression was,
I'm supposed to remember that though? No, I don't.
well, no, but the crash was in 29. So how were things growing up for you then? Were they really, really tight, or did you even notice being on a farm?
It was really tight. Really tight.
What were some of the things that you had to go through? Where you wouldn't have normally had to do?
Mother used to make our shirts out of flour sacks.
Really?
Yes. They'd buy, they had a flour mill in Springfield. White Swan flour. And they bought the flour. You could get them sacks that were patterned. And she made all the shirts from those flour sacks, those patterned sacks that they.
So your shirts were made out of flour sacks?
There you go. When I say flour sacks, I meant the flour they bought in for food,
Right.
for baking.
And I imagine other than that, you guys passed down clothes. And
Oh, yes.
how many kids were in your
If
family?
we didn't wear them all.
How many kids were in your family?
There was 5 boys.
5 boys.
Darwin, Andy, Gabe, Dick, Andy, Lowell, Alan, and Tom. Tom was young.
And your parents were?
Tom and Anna.
Tom and Anna. And what was your first main memory of childhood? Anything significant that you remember growing up? Like I remember, going fishing for the first time with my dad, or a big storm, or what do you remember? Something that just sticks in your mind?
Something that sticks in my mind.
Or the first ride you got on a tractor? Or
Use horses back then.
you used to use horses?
Oh, yes. All did most of the work with horses.
Plowing and so then, when do you remember, how old were you before you handled the team and plow and all that?
It was pretty young. I would say probably 8, 9, 10.
Did you guys hunt for food back here, or
Not too much.
not too much? A lot of deer in Minnesota, though.
Yes,
Here and there.
Nobody ever went deer hunting in our family. Now the boys do when they do that now.
Yeah,
This season.
but pretty much grew everything.
Oh, yes.
And race, I imagine you had cattle back then, growing up.
They had cows to milk, cattle for beef, they raised for beef, pit hogs, chickens.
And then you went to school besides, had chores morning and night,
That's right.
went to school besides,
That's right.
and did you went to a country school?
Just about a mile south of here.
And that
It
was
about from
all 8
From
grades?
the home place, it was about 3 miles.
All 8 grades?
Oh, what?
8 grades?
Eighth grade.
Seems to be a
That's
pattern forming here in Minnesota, where 8 grades go, and then what did you do after that for school?
Went to Springfield High School.
Went to high school. And probably got a car, real fast car.
Oh, yes, right away.
What did you have? What was your first car?
I knew it. My first car is when I got out of service.
And what was it?
What was it? You put the scratch to the side. 55 Fairlane Ford.
55 Ford Fairlane.
Fairlane Ford. Ford Fairlane.
Wow. Like V8 in it?
Whoosh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
And what about you? What was a childhood memory? That stuff you did when you were a kid that is fond.
Probably the first thing I remember is being knocked off the horse.
Knocked off a horse? A riding horse or plow
It
horse?
was a work horse.
Uh-huh.
And we were trying to ride him, and he wanted to go back in the barn for the night. So we got knocked off.
When he went in the barn?
Yes, we went back in the barn.
And do a lot of swimming?
No,
Echo? You said you were born in?
I was born really at Marshall.
Marshall.
But I grew up by Echo.
Uh-huh. And how far is that from Springfield?
Echo was about 48 miles from Springfield.
So not really any big difference in climate there, huh?
Well, it did get a little bit colder that far north.
Do you guys remember a big change in the weather since you were young, or do you think it's just that houses are built better and you have a lot better heat? I remember my dad, the kids' grandpa, saying when they grew up with great grandpa Rudy that it was always cold in the house. You know.
Wood burners, a cook stove, did heat for the kitchen and that, and then they had an oil burner or a coal furnace in a different room.
Dad said they burned corn cobs
Yes. I carried many baskets of corn cobs to the
for
house
fuel.
for heat burning.
And did you guys have indoor plumbing when you were little?
Not until, oh boy, that'd be really kind of hard to see what year that was. Probably late 40s or something like that.
In the 40s.
Probably the late 40s.
Mm-hmm. And did you go to country school then, Annette?
Yes, I went to country school until 7th grade. And then I went to Echo to high school.
To high school. And what year did you guys meet? Do you remember?
No, that's been so long ago too that.
Do you remember how you guys met or where you met?
We met at a dance in Vesta. He
And
was
where?
At Vesta. That's right close to Echo.
Vesta?
Yeah, he was out of his territory.
Met at a dance. What kind of a dance was it? What kind of music?
Old time music.
Big man stuff or polkas?
Country.
Polkas
Polka
and
and Western.
Uh-huh.
And waltzes.
No, there wasn't really.
No, it was polka and
Polka
waltzes.
waltzes.
Uh-huh. And how long did you guys date before you realized that there's no way you guys could ever part ways?
Couple weeks.
Couple of weeks?
6 months.
6 months? So when were you guys married?
January.
That's one of those questions like, when's your anniversary? Well, same thing.
Is that right?
Do you remember that?
No, I don't.
Me neither.
January 30th, 1957.
57. So you guys were married about a year and a half for the folks.
Oh, this is going to tell.
No, a year and a half for mom and dad.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 41 years.
Yeah,
You guys have been married
42 years.
42 years at the turn of the century then.
No, 42 years we were married in January.
Right. Okay then. My math seems to be a year off today. But and then you had, when was the first? Wendy was the first?
She was born in March of 58.
March of 58. She was the first, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you had 5 kids? 4 kids? 4.
Dennis and Jerry and Jim.
Dennis, Jerry, and Jim, and Wendy. And then, so Wendy was born in March 58.
Dennis the next year, 59. And Jerry was born in November of 60. And Jim was born in August of 62.
So Jim's the youngin'.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like he's about the biggest of the bunch.
Jim?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know, except for Denny. Of course, he was the truck driver, so he's big in all the same places I am. in the midsection, and you know all the places guys don't want to be big. And then when you guys got married, did you have a farm already? What did you do when you got married? What were you doing?
We rented land.
Rented land. Didn't farm with your dad.
Nope.
Just went out on your own.
Yep.
And
I probably used some of his equipment at first.
Till you got rolling. How much land did you have right when you got married, rented, that you were farming?
Probably 170 acres or something like that.
I'm trying to figure if that's less. That's a little less than a quarter.
It was a little over.
A little over a quarter.
It was 10-acre parcel around the lake.
Quarter's 160, right?
Quarter's 160.
Quarter of a section. I'm learning all this as I go. So, and then, so you guys had about 170 acres. And then when did you start buying your own land?
It wasn't too long after that we bought that. Did you remember when that was?
I would say probably 59, 60 when we bought the first farm.
Mm-hmm. And how big was that?
That was 120 acres.
Big house? Small house?
Big house.
Was it?
Big house.
Really big house? Hard to heat? Probably?
Whole house.
Yeah?
No furnace, no water.
No running water, no bathroom,
No indoor plumbing?
no indoor plumbing.
Really?
You carried all your
That's
water
special.
in and you carried all your water back out.
Wow. Did you have probably bathe outside in the summer then, huh? In a big tub or something?
No, you bathed in your bedroom in a big tub.
Oh, is that right?
You carried your water in.
Kids didn't? We had a big aluminum wash tub when we lived in our little camping trailer when we first bought Dad's place out there in Washington. And Mom just threw us in there. Big tub.
That's what we used, but we did it inside. We didn't outside.
Okay. And then the kids were growing up, and I know Danny drove truck for a while,
Quite a while.
and he's farming now. Now what would Danny and Jim and Jerry and Wendy be to the twins? Would you want to venture a guess on that? They would be second cousins in some way, right?
Way out cousins.
Yeah.
I think you would probably be second cousin to Danny.
Isn't that right?
I think that would be.
Well, I'm your second cousin.
He's your second cousin.
Yeah.
So we'd be Denny's third cousin.
Danny's third cousin. Was that the way was it?
How do you?
Danny is
Well-
my first cousin.
Right. So
Carl's your second cousin.
does it go by the generations?
I don't know how they.
Well,
I don't know how they
we'll
call
have to
it.
figure
That's
we'll have to
what we-
figure it out.
That's for something for you to figure.
But it's in the book. It's in the book that Gary and them helped make up. You know. So you're still at Springfield. Been here your whole life. Got retired now. Got the boys running the farm. And Wendy runs a watch.
She's kind of quit that, and she's going to Mankato State.
Oh, she's going to school.
She'll be a business teacher in a year. She'll graduate.
Going to college. And then, now just for the record, for the camera, Jim has
4 children.
4 kids, and they are
3 boys and 1 girl. Pat, Jay, Adam, and Lauren.
And that Lauren's a girl.
Right.
And then Jerry,
Jerry has 3 children. Dustin, Ryan, and Danielle.
and then
Randy.
Wendy has
Wendy has John.
John, and Denny doesn't have kids.
Right, Denny and Sally don't have.
Right, and then Jerry and his wife is
Leanne,
Leanne. I can never remember the wives. And Jim's wife is
Laura.
and Denny and Sally, and then Wendy's husband passed on, right?
Right.
Right.
His
And
name
then
was Tim.
Jim.
Tim.
Tim, that's right, Tim. I'm bad with the spouses. And then, okay, so it's Friday today, the 11th. And we're in Springfield. We're going to go do some sightseeing, I guess, with Great Grandpa Rudy. And then, so you're retired and the boys are running the farm. And how many acres do they run now? between the three boys.
Somewhere around 2,000.
2,000 acres. Run beef cows.
Feed cattle out. They feed cattle.
They feed out beef cattle.
Feed out beef
Well,
cattle.
What? I don't get the process on that.
Well,
Never
you
really
said,
did. You bring.
what did you say? You said beef cows, you said. Well,
Yeah.
Cows, that's the cows. These are the calves we feed out from the cows.
Oh, okay.
The cows are treated like running a cow-calf operation.
Oh, okay.
But this is a feedlot, is what it is.
Right. So you just feed them
Feed calves.
and then send them back, and then they butcher them. Is that right? Or
We don't send them back, we take them right to the packing plant.
from here. Okay. They're shipping cows, so they're going
To the packing plant.
straight to the packing plant.
Not
Then
cows. Cows are, there's a bug from outside.
calves. Calves. Steers.
Beef cat.
Beef cattle, we call them.
Okay.
Steers.
Not cows. You don't call them cows.
No, you don't call them cows.
Okay. Steers.
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 Okay.
This bunch here they got right now is steers. Otherwise it's half beef, half.
But if a guy wasn't a farmer, he could drive by here and say, "Look at all them cows."
That's
And he would be mistaken.
That's right. But they're beef cows.
Cattle.
Okay. I want to get that straight. And then you guys you grow a lot of soybeans.
Soybeans and corn is the only two crops.
Soybeans
Last
and
year they
corn.
had a few acres of peas, but they quit that.
And then you guys are seeing the twins for the first time. This will be down in history. Is there something you guys want to say to them? So when they look back when they're 30, 40 years old?
A couple of cute kids.
really nice little ones.
Okay.
Glad to see them.
I'm glad I got a chance to film you guys.
Yep. Still on.